If you've got any kind of standalone DJ gear, you'll know all about the USB grind. Preparing, exporting, carrying, forgetting, losing, getting a corrupt USB drive, all of these things, of course, will stop the fun. So wouldn't it be good if your music was just kind of there? You log in and there it is. Well, Dropbox lets you do that on standalone DJ gear. On this piece of equipment, the Rane System One, it runs Engine DJ. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to do it with any Engine DJ gear. So that could be the Denon DJ Prime, the Rane System One, the Numark Mixstreams. If you've got anything powered by Engine DJ, I'll show you how to do it. In other tutorials, we'll show you how to do it on Rekordbox and on VirtualDJ, the other two systems. But this is all about Engine. So that's the promise. What's the reality? Well, temper your expectations because it's not all good news. So to start with, you only export the playlists that you want to DJ on into Dropbox. In other words, it's not a all singing, all dancing copy of your library in the cloud. I mean, you could put all of your music into playlists and then upload them, but that's not really what it's made to do. It's made to work in the same way as if you were exporting to a USB drive, but instead of exporting to the USB drive, you export to Dropbox. And then instead of plugging the USB drive into your equipment when you get to your gig, you log in to Dropbox. That's the way this is meant to work. It's a crucial difference to understand. It's cloud export, not a cloud library. So it's one way only. So if you do any changes on your cue points or your loops or whatever, if you do any changes at all, if you've used a USB drive, you can plug that USB drive back into your computer when you get back home. And then on the Engine DJ software, you can re-import any changes you've made from the USB drive. You can't do that from Dropbox. It is purely one way. And stems don't work at all. So whereas you can export to a USB drive, and if you've analyzed for stems, again, you've done it in the desktop software, you can then play with the stems features on the hardware. They do not work at all at the time of recording this. Hopefully it's something that will change. But there is the final thing that I would say before having a play with this. And this is free, right? So you can have a play with it. You're not paying anything extra for it. That's the final thing I'd say. Believe it or not, it's been nearly 5 years, I think, at the time of making this lesson, since they launched this feature, and this software has come on leaps and bounds. The hardware has come on leaps and bounds. This feature hasn't. And so it doesn't appear to me like they're particularly up with keeping it updated, with improving it and so on. It just kind of is what it is, and it sits there doing what I'm about to describe. Look, all those things said, let's have a look at how to do it, and then you can decide if it's for you. So the first thing you're going to do is get yourself a Dropbox. If you don't have Dropbox, you have to have a paid account because a free one will fill up in about 5 seconds with music. So get yourself a Dropbox, and you also crucially have to download the Dropbox app to your Mac or Windows computer, because the way that this is handled on that computer is that your Engine DJ software talks to the Dropbox app, and Dropbox handles the syncing to and from the cloud. So if you've been used to using Dropbox on just a browser, that won't wash. You've got to have Dropbox installed on the computer. And you also have to have a big enough hard drive so that any playlists that you want to put into the cloud can also be copied into that Dropbox folder on your computer. So effectively, you've got a temporary space where playlists that you're sharing in the cloud are copied as well as the version in your music folder. So you do need to have space on your hard drive to do what I'm about to describe. And then the other thing you've got to do before you can get going as far as your computer is concerned is in the software, you've got to enable it. So I'm going to go up here to the settings, and with the Dropbox app installed on this computer in a paid plan, I'm going to go down here in the library, and I'm going to go to where it says cloud storage at the bottom and make sure I've got Dropbox switched on there. Once you've done that, head to your sync manager. Now I've got a USB drive plugged into this computer. This is the way you would normally export, right? So at the top here, you can see my USB drive. But if I click on the little arrow here, I've also got my Dropbox business account, which is recognized because I have the Dropbox software on the computer. So clicking on there will open that, and now I can pick a playlist. I'm going to pick my most requested songs, and I'm going to click export to drive, and instantly they are up there. The reason that's instant, by the way, is that the actual work is being carried out in the background by the Dropbox app. It's now uploading the tracks that are in that folder to the cloud. And that's it for here. Those are now in the cloud. While we're here though, I'm going to put some music on that USB drive that I've got plugged into this laptop as well. I'll show you why later. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to click USB. I'm going to select this time my Saturday set, and I'm going to export it to the USB drive, and that will now head up there in the background. There we go, done. So it's time to move over to our hardware and get it set up here. Couple of hoops to jump through here. When you click on Dropbox, if you haven't got an Engine DJ profile, this is the time to set one up. You can do it on your phone by scanning that code or by going to enginedj.com account to connect. It'll make you go through all the usual, do you want to add this Dropbox account to your Engine DJ account, go and check your email, put in this 6-figure number, put in your phone number for 2-factor, blah, 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 blah. When you've done all that, it's going to return you to this screen here, which means that you're done. Or are you? Because when you click on source and take a look at Dropbox, which is now up here in the list of available sources, you can see it says no local source drive. And this confuses people. So I'm going to explain it clearly, but listen hard. Your Engine DJ library consists of two things: the actual music itself and the database that knows everything about that music, waveforms, key information, what's in what playlist, and so on. That's why if you look on your computer, you'll find that there's an Engine DJ folder that's completely separate from your music. In order for this to work on your standalone unit, Engine DJ needs to get the database that relates to the playlists that you want to play from the Dropbox in the cloud. It wants to get that database and store it locally somewhere so that it knows what these tracks are, knows how to organize them, how to read them, and so on. And what all that means is that you need a way of storing that information on your unit. And that means the unit needs to have some storage plugged into it. So now you might be thinking, well, if I want to plug a USB drive into the unit, why not just export my music to USB? It would be a fair enough thing to say. But one thing that I think is really good about these units is that around the back, you can plug in an SD card, right? So you can plug an SD card in here permanently, leave that plugged in there, and that solves this problem instantly, which is exactly what we're going to do now. So with that in there, you forget that's there, it's all good. Then on here, it'll say checking database, downloading database. Now it's got somewhere to keep it, preparing database, and we're now ready to go. So to play from the Dropbox, I select it as my source by tapping on it there. And you can see here's my full collection and my most requested playlist. It's the only one I uploaded there. And here they all are. I can grab a track from here and just load it in exactly the same way as with any other track, and we're good to go. And also something that's quite nice, I can actually just look into my Dropbox folder from here as well. So this is literally browsing in the Dropbox folder. You can see I've got some stuff from my Rekordbox here as well from another DJ unit. But for instance, I can go into the Engine library here. I can look into the music folders. Here's all the individual folders in there. But what that means is that if I do want to just throw some tracks into my Dropbox, perhaps I've got some new tracks that I haven't had time to analyze on my laptop, I'm on the road or whatever, I can access them from there. The unit will have to do some analysis on unit rather than having everything nicely in playlists and pre-analyzed and all that, but it is there as an option, which can be really useful. Something really important to note: if you add playlists to your Dropbox on your desktop, or you add tracks to playlists, you need to update the database. Remember, we've got a database here that's stored around the back. You need to update that database. It won't happen automatically. It's easy to do, but it's easy to forget as well. So you go back to your source and you click on the 3 dots by Dropbox and you click on Fetch, where it says Upload to Latest Database. This is also, by the way, where you can select where this database is stored. So if for some reason you don't want to store it on there, you want to store it in something else, you can change it there. But I'm going to click Fetch, which will just get me the latest version of that database, and it tells me it's up to date. Should I make any changes on the desktop? So should you be using it? Here's how I think it makes sense. Remember that playlist I put on there is my most requested songs. I think it makes sense to put stuff that will get you out of jail at a gig, right? Stuff that, oh, I wish I'd bought that, or hey, it's not working, I need to go and get my surefire hits or whatever. Put that in Dropbox, keep that synced, and then it's always there and you can always go and grab it in an emergency. Meanwhile, take your USB drive, plug that in as you always would, and use your music on there. So on the USB drive, I've got my Saturday set here that we looked at. So I'll be DJing from here in the optimal way you're meant to DJ with this unit, right? And then if I have to, I can quickly switch over to here and grab something from my collection in the cloud to kind of, as I say, get you out of jail, to do requests or anything you might have forgotten. So you kind of got the best of both worlds going on there. Little bug I found: if you find that you go through the process I just showed you and you can't find your playlist on the unit itself, you're not going mad. I don't know how commonplace this is, but I do know how to solve it. So if you use the sync manager on the software to get your stuff over to the Dropbox, so there's my Dropbox list, sometimes I found this didn't work. Even though it says it's there, it doesn't work. However, one way that definitely does work is to open the drives here and to drag the playlist that you want to put on the Dropbox directly like this into here. And then it does seem to work. So if you just for whatever reason find Sync Manager is not getting the playlist over onto your unit, try that method where you do it directly onto the Dropbox drive in the software. Other people have found this issue as well, and I don't know why it happens, but there's the workaround. Before we finish then, let's just compare it to how Cloud Library Sync works on the Alpha Theta Pioneer DJ Rekordbox ecosystem, and we'll quickly talk about VirtualDJ as well, which has something similar. So let's do VirtualDJ first. VirtualDJ is laptop software. It's a kind of different ball game, isn't it? VirtualDJ is really simple. There's no syncing up and down or anything like that. You just connect your Dropbox and you log into it on any other computer with VirtualDJ, and it's just kind of all there. It's quite good. It uses everything, not just Dropbox. You can use OneDrive, you can use Google Drive, whatever. It uses pretty much all of them. So that again is free, and that is pretty good if you're a laptop DJ. Kind of not what we're talking about here though, is it? The most comparable one is Rekordbox. Rekordbox has something called CloudDirectPlay, and it's far more integrated into the system, and it's far more powerful than this is. So CloudDirectPlay keeps your whole library in the cloud. Effectively, when you use a laptop to DJ or to prepare your music with, because of course Rekordbox can be used both with standalone gear like the XDJ AZ I have there, but also with controllers. When you use a laptop to prepare or DJ from, it's effectively interfacing with your whole library in Dropbox. That also means that you can very easily log into that whole library from anywhere. And you don't have to worry about what playlists you've done. You don't have to worry about updating your database or anything like that. Even on the front of the CDJ 3000Xs, you have got a NFC where you can literally click it onto this front bit here, and your phone will log you in on the unit instantly. So they've really baked it into the hardware in a way that they haven't done with the Denon DJ, Numark and Rane gear. Also, you can do exactly the same on your phone. So you can use the Rekordbox app on your phone to, again, browse your library, prepare tracks, put cue points on them, put loops on them, buy music and add it to Rekordbox. And the next time you log in on any gear that's enabled with the cloud, you get all the music there. None of this syncing, none of this fetching databases, none of this updating. It's a far more powerful system. It's far more integrated, but it costs you. And it's something that you need to bear in mind because it's not a small fee. So if you don't want to pay for cloud and you just need a backup, then you probably find that this system I've talked you through here will be fine. But if you want to go all in on cloud, they're far ahead of the Engine DJ platform as we speak. So that's all you need to know. If you've got any questions about this, if you've tried it and it didn't work, or it did work, or you love it, or you think I've been unfair, or you think I've missed something, look, we love talking this stuff. Please do chat underneath. I'd love to help, and I'd also love to discuss it with you. Where would you like to see this going? What would you like to see them adding? Are they neglecting something that's becoming important? You tell us. If all this modern stuff excites you but also confuses you, trust me, you're not alone. DJing has changed an awful lot in the last decade or so. In our book, Rock the Dance Floor, we divide the way DJing is done nowadays into 5 steps. Those 5 steps are gear, music, mixing, performing, and success. What we just talked about belongs in music. Finding, shortlisting, downloading, organizing, and preparing music so you can play great DJ sets. And if you want to learn more about this, I'd like you to have a free copy of this book. You can buy this on Amazon, you can get it on your Kindle, you can get the audiobook on Audible and Apple. But look, I want you to have a free copy of this. It's easy to get one. Just become our latest free member of the Digital DJ Tips DJ School. Here is a QR code that you can scan on your phone, just like we scanned the one on this unit earlier on, or you can type in that URL, or just go to digitaldjtips.com. Click the join button at the top. As I say, it's free to join. We'll give you a copy of this book just to say thank you for becoming our latest free member in our community. And when you're ready, our complete DJ course is the way to get up to speed with the way DJing is done today. Do take a look at those things, but do go grab your free book. Meanwhile, this has been Phil here in the Digital DJ Tips School Studio saying get good, get out there, make the moments, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.